or two off any of these more experienced riders, who knows what could happen the rest of the way. Apply the tapes on heat 13. Best away looked like it was Davey Watt in blue. He's got the early advantage. Roaring round the outside though, that is Sam Masters. Mighty impressive there. And it does now look like the second bend on the first lap might be the place to be. Nice and wide. Sam Masters, the latest one to take advantage of it. It's Masters, Watt and Lena Sundström, who came into this on 8 points, only in third. Great stuff from Sam Masters.
Absolutely brilliant. Look at him flying out in front, proving why he's a PLRC champion. You know, he's making David Watt look really slow, and you can see now that the track staff have had a bit more time to grade the track, it looks really smooth. Look, you can't really see any ruts on it now, and it's riding a lot better, and Sam's proved that by riding off into the distance.
Yeah, just at the right time. The rain stopped as the referee was making his track inspection in between heats 12 and 13. There were one or two riders suggesting they might have done enough for the night and was he going to call it off, but he has made it absolutely clear that we are going to give the crowd their full 20 races for their admission money tonight, if at all possible. And certainly the weather conditions now just about as good as they've been since about 3 o'clock this afternoon. They're still not that great, but they're a lot better than they have been sometime. This was Sam Masters showing exactly how to do it in heat 13, and it goes in the book as Masters, Watt, Sundström. So Davey Watt is the first rider to get to 10 points tonight. Masters moves up to 9. Sundström is also now on 9, and regardless of how many more races we have tonight, they are comfortably through already. Henry van der Steen stays on 3. Heat 14, Emiliano Sanchez in red. Just a couple of points so far for him, so he needs to get a move on if he's going to qualify. Danny King, hopefully okay after his tumble in heat 12. He goes in blue. Kenneth Hansen already on 5, knocking on the door of being perhaps a surprise qualifier out of this tonight. I thought he might be just underneath the qualifying barrier, but at the moment he's well on course for it. And so too is Tero Arnio with 5 points to his name as well. Key thing here in this race, what Sanchez can do from the inside gate. He needs, as a minimum, I would think, second place to still have a chance of going through. And away we go, racing in the 14th into the first bend. Best away, Danny King, showing no great ill effects from that tumble. Round the outside, Tero Arnio goes better than Emiliano Sanchez. Back of the field, it is Kenneth Hansen having his worst ride so far, but this is Danny King out in front, and now really putting him under pressure. It's Tero Arnio in yellow, and Arnio might just have the lead. Arnio's got in front ahead of Danny King. Brilliant stuff there by the Finn.
Yeah, Tero showing his liking for the Berwick track. I think Daniel was a little bit cautious there after his crash in the last race, and didn't really get in the dirt, but Tero swept back round him. But you can see Daniel now giving it a go in the outside, and he's returned the favour on him. So brilliant stuff by Daniel. I think he was caught by surprise there. He was riding a little bit cautious, but now you can see he's back out in front, and he's carried on from where he left off in his earlier heats.
I think there was a little bit there of, if he can do it to me, then surely I can do it back to him.
Exactly, yeah, and he probably doesn't even know who it was this moment who come round the outside of him there, but you see him have a little look over his shoulder and see that he's got a decent lead, and he's got the 3 points, and he's done a great job tonight. He's been one of the best riders for me, as Daniel, so far.
Well, here is how he managed to salvage the win in heat 14. King, Arnio, Sanchez and Hansen. Sanchez gets 1 point out of that to move up to only 3. And he's got Fisher, van der Steen and Ingles in heat 18. So Sanchez probably needs at least second place in that to have any hope of going through. But for Danny King, it's 3 wins and a crash while he was out in front. No problems qualifying for him, and probably now no problems either for Tero Arnio. He's up to 7. Heat 15, Ingles, Buskowski, Kuss and Franchetti. I hope I'm not tempting fate here, but suffice to say that in all the time we've been covering Speedway here at Berwick, going back to 2004 here at GRT Media, Franchetti served up the most terrifying crash we've ever seen when he lost control on the second bend, went through what at the time was just the wooden safety fence, not the foam fence that's been installed in advance of this meeting. And the only way I can really sum it up afterwards, he ended up cuddling the bottom of the floodlight pylon, which is where he landed on the second bend. Incredibly, he wanted to ride in the rerun, and he did manage to take part in a race later on in the meeting when everybody else was just trying to work out how to untangle him from the bottom of the floodlight. Absolutely extraordinary incident a couple of years back. And he goes here off the outside gate in heat 15. Hold your breath, folks. Away we go in the 15th. Kenny Ingles on the inside in red. His best start so far. Down goes Matty Kuss. Down goes Kuss in white. His horrible night continues. And the referee has stopped it. And we await whether it's all four back or out goes the check. Judging by how he's been riding so far tonight, I'm not sure he wants to be back in it.
He's had a really bad night so far, hasn't he? And I think he just got into the corner a bit deep and got, you know, the roost off the rider in front on his back wheel just unsettled him in the corner. And I'm not sure whether, you know what, but you know, he's had a disaster of a night, and you can see it's continued because he's out. So you know, one to forget for him, but I'm sure he's not one to favour these kind of conditions again in the future, that's for sure.
Which leaves Krzysztof Bukowski with a great chance here off gate 2 in blue to make up for the tumble he had in his previous ride. And he's fairly well away here, though he gets a nudge on the inside from Kenny Ingles. Bukowski survives that and leads. Bukowski, Ingles, Franchetti at the back. That was nearly a very, very nasty moment, because I'm sure there was contact there between the American and the Pole. There
was a lot of contact, weren't they? But you know what the Polish are like. They're not scared of getting stuck in, and you know, Krzysztof needs this win. He's not had the best of meetings so far, so I think with this win, this will get him up there in the points and securing qualification. So you see him making a few mistakes, Gino, again, giving it a go around the outside. He's obviously not scared to attack it, is he, and get stuck in, but unfortunately it's cost him time.
It's the kind of move there, you could hear the crowd gasping in the background, because they worked out ahead of Gino that wasn't going to work out, but he's managed to stay upright. He's still in third place. It'll take him up to 3 points. He's got an outside chance of getting through if he can win heat 20. The only problem is he's against Sundstrom, Arnio and Harris, and based on what we've seen so far tonight, I think Gino will be fairly long odds to win that one towards the end of the night, but he's battling on here in third place. And certainly for Krzysztof Bukowski, as Ricky said, this is going to rescue his night nicely. He's up to 7 points. I don't think it matters what he does in heat 19 now. He should be safely through with that win in heat 15. Bukowski, Ingles, Franchetti, Kuss excluded first time round. And that was the way the Pole survived his battle with Kenny Ingles around the first couple of bends. Certainly the best ride we've seen from Ingles so far. He moves up to 3 points, but he's also got plenty to worry about when he gets to heat 18 up against Ryan Fisher.
Riding a blue at a time of 71.8 seconds.
It doesn't get any easier finding the right place to go from at the starting gate. That is Ryan Fisher, who is trying to work out whether there is any sort of worthwhile angle on the inside gate. Marcel Helfer, the German, in blue. Chris Harris still on a maximum tonight in white. Facundo Albin in yellow. Probably a race that's going to settle down into two divisions here, red and white out in front in some sort of order, and then a battle for third place between the German and the Argentinian. This will complete our fourth batch of rides, and unlike after heat 12, I don't think there's going to be any need for an inspection as to whether we carry on the meeting or not. We're down, looks set okay to get through all 20 races. So here's heat 16, and Harris very well away in white. Fisher trying to keep him company on the inside, and in fact just shades it round the first couple of bends. Harris though has got to the inside and has got through already. Harris ahead of Fisher, and then in third place Albin has got the better of Helfer, but given the conditions, Chris Harris made that look ridiculously easy on Ryan Fisher.
He did, he read it absolutely superbly. He knew that Fisher was just going to run him up to the fence, and he made the cut back at the right time, and passed him as easy as you like going down the back straight, and now he's clearing off in, you know, into the distance, and you know, he's just showing that tonight he's been the best rider and he's out there winning again. And you know, this Argentinian kid, he's not afraid of having a go. You know, he's pushing Ryan Fisher around all the way here, so you never know, it'd be great to see him, you know, get a result.
It'd be great probably to realise that he maybe doesn't know that Ryan Fisher is such an attacking rider. He's just an American name on the scorecard as far as Facundo Albin is concerned. Unfortunately, that attacking move on Fisher at the start of the second lap, as Ricky pointed out, didn't quite work out, and therefore he slipped back a little bit in third place, but he's certainly going to comfortably get the third place at the expense of Marcel Helfer. Meanwhile, out in front, here it is again. It looked good for Ryan Fisher for about 5 or 6 seconds, but Chris Harris there just slowed up beautifully, nicked it back to the inside. Thank you very much. 4 wins out of 4 for Bobber, being very well received. He's been here for individual meetings in the past. The annual individual meeting here at Berwick is called the Bordernapolis, very much on the theme of also at the now sadly lost to us track at Exeter. They've had the Westernapolis for many years, with the same sort of theme based around the Indianapolis name. It's the Bordernapolis round here, and Chris Harris, an ex-winner of that, and probably can be the winner of this meeting tonight. He's 2 points clear, and he's just second place in Heat 20 to be the meeting winner. Kenneth Hansen becomes the key rider. He's in Heat 17 to try and get through.
Second in red, Facundo Albin third in the yellow helmet. Good ride there by Facundo, pushing hard on Ryan Fisher. So
here's some quick sums on the scorecard confirming if Kenneth Hansen can get second here in Heat 17, that wraps up the guaranteed 9 qualifiers. Everybody who's got at least 7 already is through. So looking down the numbered order on the scorecard, Sam Masters is through, Krzysztof Bukowski is through with that win in his last ride, Chris Harris is through, Ryan Fisher is through, Tero Arnio is through, so too Davey Watt, Danny King and Lena Sundstrom. All those 8 know that they're safely somewhere off to either Lonigo, Voyens or Divisov in a fortnight's time. And Kenneth Hansen will join them with second place here in Heat 17. The big scramble could well be to work out who becomes a reserve for a fortnight's time by claiming 10th place here tonight. And that's much tighter. Here we go then, Heat 17. Sam Masters well away in red. Where's Hansen? He's got second. He's got Facundo Albin in white. Mate Kuss trying to see what he can do in yellow, and this is a bit better from Kuss, and that's not such good news for Hansen. Masters leading. Here's Hansen round the outside to claim second place. So that just about makes sure of his place in the next stage. And Mate Kuss has gone down. And a night that has gone from bad to worse to complete apocalypse on that one. Mate Kuss is going to finish the night with only 2 points, and without doubt, here's the surprise non-qualifier out of tonight.
Yeah, the names that you'd expect to be there are there, but I think, you know, he was one that you thought would be there and thereabouts tonight, but he's had a torrid night, and you know, every rider has bad meetings, but you know, he's probably had the worst you could imagine for yourself. He got it all wrong coming into that corner then, caught drive and bailed. So you know, Sam Masters out front's just making it look so easy. He's got such a good riding style, good technique, and you know, he's had a great night.
Well, it turns out he didn't win any of his first 2 rides because he was up against Chris Harris in his first and Danny King in his second, but he swept through the card since then. 3 wins out of 3. That was how Kenneth Hansen picked off Mate Kuss and guaranteed himself in the top 9 as well. Sam Masters moves up to 12. Kenneth Hansen moves up to 7. And Facundo Albin ends up with 4 points, 4 third places. I think from memory he slid off in the only ride where he had a 0. So he's certainly had a very fair effort here tonight. But there's your winner of Heat 17, Sam Masters. And now we do start focusing on what's going on in the battle for 10th place. Albin sets the standard for that on 4 points. The next race features all sorts of possibilities coming up here into Heat 18, because we've got Ryan Fisher expected to win it in red, but Emiliano Sanchez in blue has got 3 points so far. Henry van der Steen has got 3 as well, and so too has Kenny Ingles. Whoever gets second here is going to hold a big advantage for getting 10th place overall. Remember, Albin has finished on 4, and Franchetti brings 3 points into a tough heat 20. Here we go with heat 18. Ryan Fisher does blast away from the inside. He's had 4 seconds so far. This is his best chance for a win. Behind him, Ingles is trying to get round the outside of Sanchez. Doesn't work out there, and indeed Ingles has ended up horribly wide. He might have a problem. Van der Steen is up into 3rd. It's all gone wrong for Ingles at just the wrong moment. Fisher leads, and at the moment Sanchez is just about keeping his Grand Prix hopes alive, because he's putting pressure on Ryan Fisher. It actually doesn't matter whether he gets past him or not. Sanchez is going to move up to 5 points here, with the American leading at the moment halfway through heat 18.
That's right, Sanchez is keeping Fisher, you know, on the pace there. If Fisher makes one mistake, Sanchez will be through, and I'm pretty surprised, you know, how he's really given him a good push. It's unfortunate that Emiliano broke the tapes in his second ride, I think it was. So, you know, he'd have got a point or 2 there at least, but if he can just sneak through here, then I'm sure he'll be happy.
Well, the way that race worked out, probably he would have got 2nd place. That's the race Lee Complin got 2nd in heat 6, and yeah, you're right, that would have taken Sanchez up to 7 points instead of the 5 he looks like he's going to get at the moment. Ryan Fisher is the winner of heat 18, and Emiliano Sanchez ends up probably going to finish 10th overall in this, as opposed to landing up in a race-off with Kenneth Hansen for a qualifying place in 9th. So that shows how costly the tape touching was for him as far back as heat 6. A race to forget for Kenny Ingles, who got too wide for his comfort, and up into 3rd went Henry van der Steen. Ryan Fisher finishes up with 11. He won't be far off the podium with that performance tonight. And there's confirmation of how they finished in heat 18.
Just while the tractor's still circulating, I've got with me David Hoggart, who's on the BSPA Management Committee, and he has well, he's been working very hard, which is unusual, but it's nice to see him working, actually. He always has a good time when it comes to Berwick. But seriously, you've been working hard on behalf of the BSPA Management Committee, and I know you want to speak on their behalf. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's right, Dick. I haven't seen a race yet, just seen a few laps and a few incidents. I think what I really wanted to say was to come out and just say something to each and every one of you that have travelled to come and watch the Speedway here at Berwick tonight, and that's to say a very, very sincere thank you. You know, you can't have been encouraged by the weather to make your journeys that you made tonight, and that won't have been an easy decision for you to come along and spend your money tonight. Hopefully, you know, we've created a little bit of goodwill. I don't want you to go home thinking that we don't appreciate your custom and your business. You know, the people here at Berwick have done a fantastic job over the last 3 or 4 days to get this meeting on. The riders have come to the party tonight. We're grateful for the FIM jury president and Mr. Wychak, the referee. They've all put an awful lot into this meeting tonight, but to you, the paying public, thank you very much indeed. Our sponsors this evening, New Holland, again, they've supported the Bandits for the last 3 or 4 weeks to do everything they could to get the meeting on. So again, a very, very sincere thank you to all the members of management and staff from New Holland. Thank you.
And a sincere thanks to BSPA for sharing their event with us. Thank you, David. Thanks to everybody.
And the riders up to the tapes for heat 19. Krzysztof Bukowski already through in red. Davey Watt already through in blue. Danny King already through in white. And unfortunately, Emiliano Sanchez's 2nd place in heat 18 means even if Marcel Helfer wins this race in a massive surprise, Helfer won't quite be getting through. He'd only get himself up to 4 points. This really a case for this race, as the riders on the 3 inside gates just seeing where they're going to end up for any podium places tonight. Remember, we do, if necessary, have runoffs rather than count back for 1st, 2nd and 3rd places, as well as 9th and 10th. So away they go, racing in the 19th. Bukowski well away in red. He's got the early advantage. Danny King trying to make it 4 wins out of 5. And remember, he led his other ride as well before he tumbled. Davey Watt doesn't look happy at the back. He's pulling up fairly quickly. noses in double figures already. So through the first lap, it's King, Bukowski, and then Helfer, the only three going here, as once again Danny King doesn't seem as badly affected by the conditions as everybody else tonight, Ricky.
No, that's right. And you know, from the moment he went into that pits turn in his first race, he attacked it flat out, and that's what he's done all night. And you know, he's got 4 wins for it, so he's been flying. He's got plenty of aggression, and Daniel's one of our best riders over here at the moment. You can see Davey Watts pulled up there. I think, you know, I'm just maybe thinking that, you know, he's got his points now, and he's probably missed the start there and not really bothered, but it's a shame really, because if he'd have broke the tapes I could have got a ride, so I'll go and give him some stick for that, I think, after the meeting. But Danny King's done a fantastic job, and he deserves to go through on tonight's performance.
So here's Danny King up to 12. He joins Sam Masters and Chris Harris, who's still got heat 20 to come, at the top of the leaderboard. Ryan Fisher on 11, so that means that now Fisher won't be on the podium. We look like, well, Chris Harris only needs now a 3rd place finish in heat 20 to win the meeting. We're probably going to have a runners-up spot runoff between Masters and King. And if Linus Sundström wins heat 20, he'd get into a 12-point runoff as well. So there's certainly going to be some sort of 12-point runoff. Just waiting to work out exactly how that will be framed. So we go to heat 20. Chris Harris wins the meeting with 3rd or better. Linus Sundström joins the 12-point runoff with Sam Masters and Danny King if he wins this race. Gino Franchetti needs 2nd for a runoff with Sanchez for the reserve spot in the next stage of the Grand Prix qualifying series. Or if Franchetti wins this, he gets the reserve ticket and eliminates Sanchez. That's where we stand in the last of the regular 20 heats. And then we know we've got at least 1 runoff to settle a tiebreaker on 12. If Franchetti is 2nd here, we need another runoff between him and Sanchez on 5. Off we go then in the last of the regular heats, and the best away, it's Tero Arnio in white, Chris Harris in yellow, blasting round the outside, and Harris is on his way to a full maximum. Harris leads, Arnio 2nd. The key thing here is that Sundström is only in 3rd place. So it would at this rate just be Masters and King for a 12-point runoff, with Chris Harris way out in front. At this rate, he's going to win the meeting by 3 clear points. Yeah, and he fully deserves it. Chris has come here tonight and give it absolutely 100%. It's very similar, especially with conditions being how they are, to when he probably rode for Exeter. He was very good round there, and he's come here tonight and he's attacked it, and look what he's done for himself. He's been a class above everybody else, hasn't he, really? So you can see Sundström's having a go on Tero here. He's giving it a go in the dirt round the outside, but nasty one there. That's Linus Sundström that's gone flying. Very nasty crash for Sundström. Now we're just awaiting what happens here. They're going to keep heat 20 going by the looks of it. Sundström has managed to pick the machinery up, get it safely to the inside, so Harris has won it. Arnio 2nd. Sundström shows the benefit of the foam fence here. That was a horrible tumble. Alex Edberg, the Swede, was far more seriously hurt in a similar situation.